Right. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I wanted to make a video today because just last week I got to 2 years without alcohol, and I also just hit 7 months without smoking weed. And I wanted to do a little video about what I've learned and what I wish I knew. I wanted to make this video for anyone who might need to listen or just some help, because I have been a frequent visitor of the Reddit threads Stop Drinking and Leaves. I go to those more often than I would have thought, especially when I'm having a bad day or I just am like, I don't want to slip up and I need a reminder. A lot of times I scroll through and I look for someone who's like at the same timeline as me, and I'll read their experience and I'll be like, okay, they're going through the same type of feeling, and it makes me feel a lot better and is a good reminder to not screw up. Because I'm not gonna lie, there's so many times throughout the past 2 years and the past 7 months where if I wasn't really like equipped with just a little bit of a resource or the willpower, I don't know, like it's been, you know, I've held on tight. First up, I want to talk about not drinking. It's really weird because it's been kind of a long time that my brain like forgets how bad it was. And as I've told you guys, in the end, so in the beginning of 2024, like right before I stopped, it was really bad. Like I was really sick. I was drinking all day to avoid withdrawals. Like I would wake up in a withdrawing state and I would be full-fledged body shakes, anxiety, sweating, nausea. I mean, I would be throwing up every day, begging to not feel that way, but also like knowing that the only way it would subside is by drinking, because your body is literally like addicted to it. So I was stuck in a really vicious loop, and I started to just like not even feel okay, like period. I mean, I remember feeling so awful doing some of the last activities that I did while drinking. I mean, the first drink of the day, or like when I met up with my friends, I was shaking to bring the shot glass to my lips. Like I literally couldn't even pull it up from the counter to get it to my mouth in time to like subside any of the anxiety. It was just really, really bad. And I was drinking all day, not even giving the day a chance, like being like, I mean, bedside bottle. And yeah, going through a lot of alcohol. And yeah, that starts me off with one of the first things that I wanted to say that I've learned is that, oh my God, do I not miss the restocking and the refilling and the needing to go to the store. Holy crap. Like it was, honestly, it's crazy when you're like actively in addiction that you don't just like order a bulk amount, because like the restocking is just such a hassle. Like I would literally have to go to the store every single day, sometimes scraping together money to buy like a cheap bottle of Smirnoff, and specifically like wanting to go to a store that I knew it was on sale. Like it just ridiculous shit like that would just happen like once a day, or like having to order Uber Eats, and just like the anxiety of having to do that to gather all of my supplies. It's just like tiring, and to not have to do that is a little mini blessing. The space that I feel the most in control of my sobriety is actually at home, which is crazy because I used to think that it would be really triggering because I wound up being like an isolated drinker. I was like terrified. I was like, what am I gonna do in the evening? Like, how am I gonna unwind? How am I gonna relax? Like, how am I gonna even enjoy myself? I thought that I would be so triggered being at home alone, like that would make me want to go pick up something, but it's actually kind of weirdly the opposite. Like I feel safe. I feel like I can handle it when I'm in my own home, and it's actually going out that sometimes brings up the trigger of like, this is when I used to want to drink. I used to want to drink to do anything. I guess this leads me to my next point, that I think about relapsing when I'm out, and I feel like I'm missing out. Like whenever, you know, I live in West Hollywood, I live in LA. It's a very like popular bar scene. I have to be very careful about, you know, picking and choosing when I do go. I don't go out at night, which is just sad because I'm like only 29, but I'll go out for like the happy hour times, get some snacks, get a Red Bull, drink some water. I usually like, I'm just looking forward to the fact that I'll get an ice water with a straw. And I'm like, I don't have to make that. And then it's nice to go out with someone who's just gonna have like a beer or two or something, and then we're gonna order some wings or like get some french fries, and that's kind of like my little like hand, fidget. I haven't really been out with anyone who's just like, oh, let's get shots or like things like that, but I've thought about how that would probably be more triggering. Actually, I went to meet up with my friends and they were already drinking, and a friend that I don't see very often was like taking shots and accidentally offered me one, and I was just like, whoa, that's kind of the trigger, rather than just someone who will order a beer and maybe I'll order an NA beer, and it just is like a little bit more relaxed. Another one I wrote down was that the feeling of being hungover is something that you definitely do not miss, but you may forget about, and it's really like, it's a good reminder to not take for granted when you start to get into your sobriety, like how good it is to just feel normal. It might be like baseline, and it might not be that euphoric or like exciting, or it's not even that noticeable, but to just not feel sick, to not feel like you're gonna throw up, to not have to look for the bathroom for any establishment you go to in case you do have to get sick. I mean, these are all like little blessings. I have to remind myself, I'm like, okay, this is a good feeling. Like, even though I'm not feeling anything necessarily, like it's a better feeling than feeling ill. Being out of the restocking routine is such a subtle relief. Like that one, I just can't get over. Like it is just so, I wouldn't want to go do it, but I would have to. Like I wouldn't want to go to the ATM to get out cash to go to the dispensary, but like I would. And like I said, I would never get bulk. Like I would just get what I needed, and then I would have to go do it again like every single day. I mean, the amount of time I wasted, the amount of money I wasted, all these different things, it's still settling in. Like it's really still settling in. I think I was able to handle the shock of my sobriety from alcohol because in the beginning I was still smoking weed. And I kind of look at it this way, like the most harmful addiction is the one that I wanted to tackle first. That's what I wrote. Harmful in the way that like my health was literally being affected. I could feel it in my stomach. I could feel it in like my liver area. I could just feel it. Like I knew it. And I have wanted to stop smoking at different points in my life, but I always fell back into it, like with any little bit of sobriety that I found there. And for some reason it clicked like 7 months ago. It has been so difficult, but it did click where I was able to get far enough away from it that I was like, all right, I kind of got time under my belt. Like the last thing I want to do is fall back into that place of desperately wanting to stop, but not being able to stop. So this might segment me into more of stopping smoking. Beginning of October, I got sick. I had like a really bad throat sickness and I was coughing like crazy. I felt this pressure in my head, and somehow I just decided to stop smoking. I don't even remember the day or the week, like how it felt, but I know it was difficult. I remember I did a meditation. It was like a transformational meditation. This lady, she guided it, and it was like, I just remember it being like, when you're ready for a change in your life, do this meditation. And I'm not kidding. Like I really like credit that meditation and just that beginning willpower. I was at this point where I had a lot of momentum of wanting to see what my life would look like without this crutch, thinking that like everything was gonna just magically start falling into place and change. And I have to be honest, since it hasn't necessarily, it's been difficult not to just be like, okay, let me start smoking again. But I try to remember like the fact that I'm already ahead of it, and I don't want to have to go through that grief and that quitting process again, and I don't want to have to have wasted more time. So like I wanted to stop smoking when I was 19, when I was 22 or 23, and then when I was 28. And I have a lot of grief from not stopping when I was 19 or 22, like a lot. This is something that and yeah, unfortunately I didn't, and I feel like I dropped the ball on a lot of different things, and that is my motivation to not get to a different point in my life, like in my 30s, and think the same thing about not stopping when I did now. It's hard. Like, I'm really waiting for a lot of my self to find that success and that it's really not that hard for them to sit in their room for a minute. Like, it's really not. I don't know why they have to be crying. All right, honestly, I'm not as good as I used to be at filming videos, but I'm just gonna keep this going because I felt like I was in flow state. But there's like lots of animals and they're whining and it's just a lot. I said, bringing me to my patience point. My patience has gotten a lot better, but yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna like make the rest of this whatever. Sometimes it's just triggering. Like, honestly, it's just triggering sometimes. Every time I've ever talked about it or posted about it, I get hit with this wave of like wanting to do it, and it's annoying. I let it wear off, like I let it pass, and I honestly like to share because it helps me get off my chest, and I think it's really helpful, and I love reading stories from other people. That's like how I've gotten over hard days. But it is a really weird thing where like when I do talk about it or I share about it, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I making this commitment? Like, why? And yeah, I feel like that's something that I need to work on. Because I don't know, I've made this commitment out of sheer willpower. Like, it's not recommended to not get help, but or to just do it alone. But that's really like how I've done it. And I'm doing it because I think I deserve better for myself. And like, there's things that I've missed out on and balls that I've dropped. Chances I haven't taken, risks I haven't taken, all of these things that eat me alive, and I can't let it go on. I couldn't let it go on, and so that's what's making me strong enough to do this. I didn't realize that after you stop doing the thing that helps you escape, that helps you run away from all the things that you didn't want to face, then you have to start facing those things whether you like it or not, because my brain will not let me think about it. Like, that's why I do things like meditate, that's why I journal, and that's why I'm gonna start to talk to someone, because my brain is not letting me let go of these opportunities or, you know, all these different things that I didn't do. The perfect life that I wanted to lead, but somewhere went wrong. It's devastating. I do know that stopping now will give me more opportunity to make those things right, and I think that goes for any age, like at any point in things going wrong. Like, turning the ship around at any point will start to make things go right. Whether it's just being able to feel okay or to know that you're not continuing to dig yourself into a hole, I think that's a starting point. And after 2 years of not drinking and 7 months of not smoking, I don't know if I can say I'm anywhere near past that. Like, I still just feel like I'm at this point where I'm like, well, at least I'm not getting worse. I know I've done things, like I've posted, I've been sharing, I've been creating, I've been sharing music, I've been making music, but I'm still waiting for this, like, the agony to wear off, and I'm still waiting to be in like a hyperactive, like I can do more state. And I know I have to push myself. I guess one of the best feelings about not smoking anymore is that I like actually go out and like hold my head up. I'm not constantly in this state of like holding my head down, not wanting to talk, not really looking at people in the eye, like being kind of weird, being, you know, not a bright and radiant person. Like, thankfully that has changed, and it's really like made me kind of be more present and realize like how good of a vibe or like aura or just, you know, presence that I can bring into anything, just maybe into the grocery store, wherever. I never really thought I would be at this point, I will say that. Like, it's nice to be like out of that initial like, oh my god, the shock of how am I gonna do this, how am I gonna do sobriety, whatever, and just kind of be like going along with it. I like read this tweet. It was like a woman woke up from a coma and she had been raising like a family of 3 for 7 years and it was only like 15 days coma. I'm like, please let that be me. Like, I literally, that was the first thing that ran through my head, and I was like, she got my wish. That's horrible. Like, that is a horrifying fucking feeling. But I just try to work through it. And like I said, I don't want to feel that way about any longer period of time than I already do. So, like, that's why I checked myself. He said, I'm just here to check her. She goes, you ain't checking nobody. I'm checking lists and everything. I hope that you guys enjoyed listening to this. Sorry if it was a bit of a rant. I'm really not as equipped as I once was making videos. Bug says hi. But if you have any questions, if you want to talk about this, leave me a comment below and I will give you guys all the answers that you'd like. I hope that this could be helpful to just one person even. And if you are watching still, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. I'm hoping and wishing the best for everybody. I hope that you're doing good out there. If you are also in a similar place, just be strong, you know? Just be strong and think about all of the upside. Even if right now it's just in the beginning of the upside, just realize that you're already in a place that's better than you were. And if you are still in a bad place and this is inspiration, I hope that you start to make little decisions because you believe in yourself, because you deserve to, because we all do. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys soon. All right, bye.